What is the AFL-CIO? The American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organizations, usually referred to as the AFL-CIO, is a voluntary federation of 121 national and international labor unions in the United States. At root, the AFL-CIO is people. 13.6 million workers in occupations as diverse as America itself. Actors and entertainers, construction workers, barbers and hairdressers, steel workers, machinists, bus drivers, railroad workers, telephone operators, printers, school teachers, post office clerks, letter carriers, etc. In nearly every field of human endeavor, workers have formed unions to bargain collectively with their employers, striving to improve their lot by achieving just wages and working conditions. In turn, these unions formed the AFL-CIO to represent them in creation and execution of broad national and international policies and in coordinating a wide range of joint activities. The 121 affiliated unions of the AFL-CIO are made up of more than 60,000 local unions, through which day-to-day relationships are conducted with several hundred thousand employers. These local unions have negotiated more than 150,000 collective bargaining contracts that help give the American worker a measure of economic security by spelling out rates of pay, hours of work, overtime, vacations, holidays, seniority, the handling of grievances, pensions, and much else. Most of these contracts, 98% according to government statistics, run their course without a strike or other interruption of work. They have become part of the nation's economic foundation upon which its workers have built the highest living standards in the world. The AFL-CIO itself, however, does no bargaining. It is not a union, but a union of unions. Each member union of the AFL-CIO remains autonomous, conducting its own affairs in the manner determined by its own members. Each has its own headquarters, officers, and staff. Each decides its own economic policies, carries on its own contract negotiations, sets its own dues, and provides its own membership services. Each of the 121 affiliated unions is free to withdraw at any time, but through its voluntary participation, it plays a role in establishing overall policies for the American labor movement, which in turn advance the interests of every union. The AFL-CIO serves its constituent unions by speaking for the whole labor movement before Congress and other branches of government, representing American labor in world affairs through its participation in the International Labor Organization, a United Nations specialized agency, and through direct contact with the central labor organizations of free countries throughout the world, helping to organize the unorganized workers of the United States, coordinating such activities as community services, political education, and voter registration for greater effectiveness. While retaining control over their own affairs, member unions have ceded a degree of authority to the AFL-CIO in certain matters. These include ethical practices. Every affiliated union must comply with the AFL-CIO ethical practices codes, which establish basic standards of union democracy and financial integrity. Totalitarian domination. No union controlled by communists, fascists, or other totalitarians can remain in the AFL-CIO. Internal disputes. Each union has agreed to submit a certain type of disputes with other affiliated unions to the mediating and judicial processes of the AFL-CIO. Structure of the AFL-CIO. The organizational structure of the AFL-CIO ensures the preservation of the democratic processes within the Federation. Broad general policies are established at biennial conventions, at which each affiliate is represented in proportion to its membership, the base upon which the entire structure is built. The convention, which is the supreme governing body of the organization, also elects the AFL-CIO president, secretary-treasurer, and 33 vice presidents. These officers make up the AFL-CIO Executive Council, which governs Federation affairs between conventions, supplements convention policies, and keeps them up to date. The same concept of a union of unions that links the 121 national and international unions in the AFL-CIO is expressed in more than 800 state and local AFL-CIO central bodies. Through these labor centers, the more than 60,000 local unions of AFL-CIO affiliates carry on legislative, political, and community service activities in their own areas. The AFL-CIO also has 6 constitutional departments, which are trade and industrial groupings for unions with strong common interests. They are the building and construction trades, maritime trades, metal trades, railway employees, industrial union, and the union labor and services trades department. They too function on state and local levels through more than 900 local department councils. They have representation at AFL-CIO conventions and on the general board through their delegates help to shape the AFL-CIO policy in their specialized area. The AFL-CIO's operations are financed chiefly through regular dues, known as per capita taxes. These are paid by affiliates on behalf of each member. The current per capita tax for national, industrial, and international unions is 10 cents per member per month. Thus, each member of an AFL-CIO union contributes $1.20 a year to support the AFL-CIO. What does the AFL-CIO do? The aims and aspirations of the AFL-CIO are clearly spelled out in its constitution. In summary, they are to improve wages, hours, and working conditions for workers, to bring the benefits of free collective bargaining to all workers, to achieve equality of opportunity for all workers, regardless of race, creed, color, or national origin, to support legislation which will aid workers and to oppose harmful legislation, to protect and strengthen democratic institutions and to preserve America's democratic traditions, to aid in promoting the cause of peace and freedom in the world, to protect the labor movement against corruption and racketeers, to safeguard the labor movement from communists, fascists, and other totalitarians, to encourage workers to register and to vote, and to exercise fully their responsibilities as citizens, to encourage the sale of union-made goods through the use of the union label, to organize the unorganized, which the Merger Convention in 1955 called the major unfinished task of the American labor movement. It is the primary function of the AFL-CIO field staff, operating through some 24 regional AFL-CIO offices across the country. Actually, workers organize themselves. When they decide that they want or need union membership to achieve equitable wages and job conditions, organizers can only assist them, providing the tools of knowledge and experience to help overcome such obstacles as employer hostility. What the union offers is the key ingredient in the worker's decision. Organizing, bringing the benefits of collective bargaining to all workers, really is the fundamental mission of every dedicated trained unionist. But the basic responsibility rests with the unions functioning in the various crafts and industries. The role of the AFL-CIO field staff, under the supervision of the Department of Organization, is largely to assist affiliated unions in this task by providing supplementary manpower and guidance. In addition, the department has been successful in coordinating the organizing efforts of a number of unions in joint projects. The department also initiates organizing activity in industries and plants with little or no previous history of unionism among employees. For example, migrant farm workers employed to harvest the crops on giant corporation farms have been among the most exploited workers in the nation's history and among the last to turn to unionism as a solution to their needs. Years of quiet, persistent efforts to help them organize finally bore fruit with the formation of the United Farm Workers Organizing Committee under the AFL-CIO banner. The union is still in its fledgling stage, but already it has reached collective bargaining agreements with a number of major growers on the West Coast, proving that unionism can work on the farm as well as in the factory. Recognition that organizing lies at the very heart of the trade union program is evident in the fact that the AFL-CIO's organizing activities, including the Department of Organization, the regional offices and field staff, account for more than 1/4 of the Federation's overall general fund expenses.